Ooh, oh. Hello. If you're watching this right now, it is about to be 6 p.m. on a Saturday night. Uh, I was hanging out with some friends the other night, kind of hanging out with them today, and right now I'm just kind of here. And of course, my trusty pal, my best companion, Wasabi, is here. He's about to get in my grill. I haven't seen him all day. So of course he's going to be disruptive, as he usually is. If you see, is it a will they or won't they? Will you ever kiss me or no? You better commit. You better commit. I guess not. So I told you guys that this was going to be a hybrid vlog, and this is true. We're not going to do the traditional thing right now. This is where the split comes. Instead, today we are going to edit. And particularly a short story that I wrote. Let me get the focus back here. It's a short story I wrote, and I got a copy back telling me that I've made a few mistakes here and there. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. And yeah, see you after this. Okay, major shout outs to Shayla, and I'll have her information on the description below if you want her services. Thank you kindly for editing or for looking over this for free, because with my writing group, we're doing an anthology. That's pretty much what's going on. Now, feedback of positivity. I see the first thing. Oh, it doesn't exist on my thing. Pretty much I'm using an open office writer. It's a pretty good program. I'm thinking, here we go. I fixed the dialogue formatting for this one. I had comma before dear. Okay, so this is the formatting stuff. It's a little bit out of my element, I'll admit, but I'll go ahead and give it my best shot. See where I can make the edits. I'm going to open up the most recent version of what I did, unless I can copy all of this. I might copy this, and then that way I can mess with it here. So start right here. I'm going to do Control All, Control copy, and then Control paste. Okay. Okay, looks like the formatting's the same. I can mess with this one here. Open it up. Oof. Okay, so Maria, a low and loud voice boo from the outside. We are in a minute, dear, and she formatted it right there. The comma before dear. Okay, that's something I learned. This is a bathroom. Overcame a quick facade. Sitting at the island was unnecessary fragment. Move this down and be on the same paragraph. Okay, this is kind of the trouble I have, because in my novel, whenever... No, she's right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm not the best at commentating on this. I'm just also, this is my first time looking at it, which I should have looked at before filming this. Now, definitely something for me to look at. Oh, it's repeating over and over. It's in a loop. Crazy. Oh, that's weird. It turns out it's repeating. I'm just gonna go get rid of that. That way I can at least read you some of the edits made. Don't tell me that's doing that too. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it looks like my main thing is just the use of dialogue whenever people speak or whatever, and this is fair. Don't really have a lot of. I've been reading all kinds of different stuff, and they do it differently, and I was just kind of emulating that. So, I'll just go with what the editor said, because I really have no idea. A good idea for you writers out there: don't make the mistake I made. Read more books, because I took the idea that I had and applied it to here from another book I read, but apparently this is going to be the more common one, the more accepted one. So my recommendation is to read books, and not just for story purposes, but also look at the formatting. When you look at the formatting, you can kind of get a sense of how you want to style your book. Okay, add a comma. This is a hyphen. Go through and make sure using dashes where needed. Okay. Well, I don't think I need. I think I use the hyphen well enough already, because for me, whenever I use a hyphen, it's whenever they say something and they're interrupted. For me, that's as clear as day. I know when I'm using that right, so I don't think I have to worry too much about the hyphens, because when I use it intentionally. So I'm not just throwing those around. Go back through and lowercase dialogue tags when you use. Well, this one, I think for me, I look at it as a new sentence, which is probably why I capitalize it. But then again, I was using names before. Why wouldn't I give? I wouldn't give that bit of that salsa in my mixing bowl. He cackled out. Okay, no, that's fair. That's pronoun. I'm gonna go ahead and change that. I guess it's just like my issue is I want to follow the same formatting because I do have the original file that I sent it, but I don't think it's formatted like this. Yeah, it definitely isn't. Am I zoomed in? Oh, not. There we go. I guess I'll just see how she did it and do it like that. Okay. Nothing's highlighted, nothing's held in, so I'm going to format it. Everything, okay, so I was using the wrong alignment too. So what is the format? Paragraph. It's 1.5 lines, 0.7, okay. Everything looks to be left indent. Okay, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So we're going to go ahead and get back there to my other one, the revision. I guess Control All, format, mess with the paragraph bits, do 1.5 lines, apply that mess, and it doesn't look the same. Oh, it does look the same now. But mine's more zoomed in. Let's see, that's 120. Oh, that's also 120. Hold on. Gotta put them side to side so I can at least see. I'll go to the last sentence to see how that looks. Okay, I got it. Okay. Wouldn't let me click out. What's the font number here? 12. Ah, that's why. I went with Book Antiqua. I like the font, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think my main thing when it comes to writing, when it comes to drafts, is I'm not necessarily the best in grammar usage and dialogue tags. But everything else, like, I think about the structure and all that stuff. I think about story structure, where things need to be and where it should. So now it's looking more and more the same. The alignment is still justified on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and change that into align left. Doesn't look too different. About 19 pages here. Should be, it's 15 here. Why is it 15 here? Because there is spaces, and spaces done right. Okay, so 1, 2, or just 1. Okay. What is making this longer? Maybe it's the alignment overall in the formatting paragraph. The bottom is going to be 0.07. What is the one here? Below paragraph, it's 0. So I'm gonna change that to a 7. I'm gonna do the whole thing like that. 0.07, and it looks like it's changing. Looks like we're getting there because we just jumped up to 17 pages. Now I need to figure out. So far it's very much looking like the draft I got back, and same thing here. So the final page should kind of look like this. The final page does look like, okay. So there's more space stuff that's messed up. Because after it says, "Now Maria, shall we get to work?" It's only two strokes of enter, and we're on the next paragraph. So I'm gonna see how far that is. When am I beautiful? Now Maria, let's get to work. I found it, and there's a huge, not huge, but it's not as big as this one. Okay. So we're gonna look at the formatting one more time. Well, we're gonna look at it a lot, I should say. Here we go. First line, 0.04 or 0.49. I'm gonna check this one here, and it's nothing. So that might help a little bit. So Control All. First line, 0.49. And did it change anything? I don't know. Oh, it looks like, I feel like it did. No, it's just me scrolling. Still at 17 pages. That could also explain some of it. Okay. A Pretty Facade by Gary Medina. That is me. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and type it out. Boy. Try to position it so you can see me type. I'm going to use the other tripod. Hold on. Let's move this bad boy out of the way. And about my messy hair, I was at the lake today, so that's why my hair is all funky. How are you guys this weekend? Just chilling out? It's really nice weather. And Oklahoma is really weird about weather. Like we have snowstorms one day, and then freaking summertime the next. It's very unnerving and annoying mainly. So that's Times New Roman 12. Wasabi is scratching at my chair. No, don't do that, buddy. Okay. Bye. Gary Medina. Could it also be because there's like margins kind of holding it down? Maybe. I'm going to try to get it to look as close to the draft as I can. And I know there's probably a way to do this, but I don't know. I'm just going about it the way I do. So far it's looking pretty similar. Might have to look at the alignment on the right or left and right, the outside margins. I'm going to check again right here. Okay, I'm going to move my camera around so you can see better. I should probably move my lamp so it's not glaring. We'll be in the dark. Yeah, there we go. My Spider-Man fell asleep too. He can't live without light. He's like a bird. So what is left and right? Here you go. Alignment. Center, automatic. I'll check anyway for this one. Center, automatic. Okay. For text. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna go back to this one. 7. Center. Text flow. Drop caps. I don't know what that is. I don't know what a drop cap is. I know what a lot of you are thinking, like, why don't I put music in these? I just don't want to deal with all the BS, you know, when it comes to music and YouTube and all that. I'd rather just not deal with that entire. I mean, is it orphan control? I saw those were clicked, so I'm going to go ahead and click on those and apply that. Probably apply it to the whole thing too. Yeah, I want both of those things. Oh, there we go. Maybe. No. It's still 19 pages. There's something weird. Something I'm not doing right. Yeah, should be good. Well, I'm going to go back to the front and see, kind of compare the two detective style. So that's 120, that's 120, but why does it look so weird? Why does it look so different? Could it be this? The things right here? Maybe. I don't get it. Oh, that's why. Okay. Well, I can probably control Z. First I'm going to save it in case I go way too far and I just completely mess things up. Okay, it's going to be, I'm going to put this on the 6. Oh, I'm going to control Z that, control all, and then I'm going to move this gray one. There we go. Eso. Okay, we got another page, but yeah, okay. Yeah, when it comes to technical stuff like this, not necessarily the best, I'll admit. I'm gonna go back and go to default, because now I'm starting to think those old margins were for this stuff right here, but also it isn't. I don't know. Yeah, because this one goes way far back and this one is much shorter. Well, then again, I'm zoomed in. Let's zoom back into this one. 7. Okay, so it is on the 6. So we're going to go ahead and move it anyway. It's still on 18. I'm going to go ahead and zoom into 120 and see how that compares. Variable. We're going to do 120. Okay, without the gray, how does it look? It looks square and even. That's 90%. And it looks uneven on this one. So, do I need to move the left one? Maybe. Yeah, it looks like I might have to. Is it because, no, that's separated as well. Well, I'm gonna move it anyway. Nope, that didn't work. Ugh. Sorry for the sniffles, everyone. allergy season, you know, it's springtime, so of course. Oh man, it's been kicking my butt all day. Oh, what happened? Okay. That didn't do anything. Okay. Oh god, I'm totally messing everything up right now. I think I got 19. How did I get 19? No, back to 18. Okay. Oh, how do I do this? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not good at this editing stuff, you know. I'm pretty terrible at it. And for me, I'm a pretty bad critiquer as well, just because, I don't know. If it's good, it's good. If I like it, I like it. But also, like, I give everyone kind of the benefit of the doubt. So far, everything's kind of lining up. I'm going to go to the last page. Last page. This one is lower than the other. They're both at 90, but it's still weird. The spacing should be right. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? Oh, shoot. Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, so what is happening is she did the edit, she changed it, and this is the original draft. And I feel like the more I type in, the more it'll reach the 19 pages and really space out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. Voice boom from the outside. I'll be out in a minute, dear. She added a comma there. I added a comma myself. Winter air. But why? Why does this look so different? They look so different. Maybe she cut some stuff out when she didn't tell herself. Okay. Okay. Because this feels smaller. It's so weird. It's really making me lose my mind a little bit. Well, I'll go ahead and just read out what I got and see if it sounds good to me. No, I'm just going to go back. Okay. The waxy end of lipstick sailed across her bottom lip. Hand still, wrist still, covering cartilage with exact precision. With a few puckers and the lighting around the mirror, she wanted to take a moment to admire herself. To complete the effect, she tousled her hair until it struck the right balance of wild yet refined. She felt an immediate feedback of positivity. Life was idyllic in the high-rise condominiums. Could it be like the top part here, maybe? 10. Oh, I think I found it. Oh, snaps. Can I move this? Yeah. Hell yeah. I think I found it. Yeah. Or I think I'm finding it. Yeah, okay. We're there. We're at 19 pages. I'm gonna go back down to the very end. Ah, yes. It is now exact. It is now equal. It is the right formatting. Shall I get to work? There's still a big space here. All right. Awesome. All right. So now I'm gonna go back and make the changes to the dialogue tags, and I can actually follow along with this original, with the copy that was sent back to me, and this is the one that I sent in. So now I can go ahead and touch it up. Do what I need to do. She says she fixed. This is going to be on the second paragraph here. I guess I can zoom in on this one now. That way I can see better, and you guys can see better. So we're 110 here, 110 there. Okay. So stepping into the bedroom, and she put a note here. Fix the dialogue formatting for this one. Okay, that's the deer. We already took care of that. We added the comma right up here. If you see my mouse. Okay. Stepping into the bedroom, he felt the dark sensations return and overcame her quick facade. I might have used facade more than once, but I think that's the point of the story. This story is called A Pretty Facade. Okay. There was a strong sense of guilt that came from subverting her thoughts that were short of gratitude. After patting down her red dress, Maria stepped into the living room. White stiletto pumps clacked on the hardwood floors, echoing throughout the empty space. The emptiness was intentional, something about letting energy flow throughout the home. It was in a video she watched, and the idea stuck. Okay, the kitchen was filled with silver surfaces and cooking utensils, the kind of rigid gaudiness that rich people love. The kind of rigid, okay, that rich and rigid, they're different words, I can use it. Sitting at the island was her husband. Sitting at the island was her husband. What did she add? Unnecessary fragment. Oh, okay, I see what she means. I'm gonna look it up anyway. What is an unnecessary fragment? You know, it's funny. I'm really good at English, but when it comes to writing it, I guess I'm not the best at it. Fragmentation. What is it? Unnecessary fragment. Fragment. Writing. Sentence fragments. Quick and dirty tips. Okay, so it's pretty much a fragmented. Oh, well, duh. Okay. I should really read this article. Oh, okay. Oh, my allergies. I mean, does it just sound weird? Is that what it is? Okay, sitting. Okay. I think I know how to fix this. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna put brackets right here. This is my way of walling it off. Okay, sitting at the island was her husband, a lumpy-looking man dressed in a casual way that clashed hard with the sleek and shiny design of the kitchen. So that's the description of her husband. He's kind of this old dude who's really unappealing looks, kind of clashes with the clean, modern aesthetic of a modern kitchen. So that's the idea I want to go with. So how I'm going to do this sentence. Her husband sat alone on the island in the, I don't want to use kitchen again, in the middle of the room. I've spelled middle wrong. Middle of the room. I guess I'm going to zoom the camera in so you can see me type as well. There we go. Okay, and I can see just fine from where I am. I don't mind the screen being there. Her husband sat alone on the island in the middle of the room. And then I guess I can keep the other stuff. Space there. He was a lumpy looking man dressed in a casual, it still makes it seem like it's stylish, and I definitely want to play up that he's kind of a slob. So I could think of the word myself, but this is the internet age and I can use the thesaurus, so I'm going to thesaurus.com. Thesaurus.com. I've already thought of the word unkempt, but I want to use a different word than unkempt. Let's see. Bedraggled sounds like it's grubby. I like grubby. But to me, grubby seems more greedy. It sounds like, I'm sure grubby means unkempt, but to me, grubby sounds like, oh, you're grubbed for money. Like you want money so bad. So it sounds greedy to me. I'm going to use messy, simple word, and it conveys the whole, like, lazy look better than casual, because casual could still be stylish, you know. So, where am I? Okay. Where was it? Where am I? Here we are. So, I'll zoom you back in the fray. Okay. Her husband sat alone on the island in the middle of the room. He was a lumpy looking man and dressed in a messy way. Messy way that clashed hard with the sleek and shiny design of the kitchen. So we have a new dialogue. Good morning, dear. Oh yeah, she went ahead and I know she corrected that. Good morning. She added a comma, and I have a comma missing there. Good morning, dear. Maria beamed a little too brilliantly. An observant eye. Oh, I'm gonna turn on my lamp. Hopefully, it doesn't glare too bad. My keyboard lights up just fine. I'll just turn the lamp back off. What is up with my focus here? Back to autofocus. There we go. Okay. Good morning, dear. Maria beamed a little too brightly. An observant eye would catch that something was amiss, but her husband had his eyes glued. Observant eye. I'm going to change this. But her husband. An observant eye would catch this, but her husband. But her husband, I think eyes are okay. Because, I mean, two different types of eyes. An observant eye is like an expert, someone who's good at looking for stuff. And on this one, in the next instance, I'm using his eyes and physical, so I guess it's okay. His head tilted to acknowledge her. Morning, he grunted. Sorry I didn't make breakfast today. Had to gussy up for my number one man. And his eyes rolled up from the text, and he gazed down. Full of news, and he gazed up and down. Text, and he gazed up and down, giving her the old elevator eyes. He folded a newspaper over his arm and paused before speaking. You sure that's all? He asked. Oh, what is up with the focus here? Come on, people are reading. I'm gonna back out. Back out. I'm gonna zoom back in. There we go. Jeez Louise. Okay. Maria was initially confused by the question. Surely he couldn't have known about the jolt in the bathroom. Before sweeping the worry away, she felt a compulsion to blurt out what had happened. Well, I had a bit of a tingle in my head earlier. I don't know where it's coming from. I'll set up an appointment for tomorrow, her husband said. It came out like a demand. A command, more like it. It came out like a... They both mean the exact same thing. I'm going to go ahead and just cut that out. Maria paused. Most certainly. Demand. Oh, I forgot to add a period. Okay. Maria paused. Most certainly wanting to protest this decision, she took a deep breath and responded. Okay, so this movement here, I move this down. Oh, okay, so I see what she means. Chill out. Responded, and that looks like a comma. Good idea, sweetheart. Now, why did she do that change? I'm going to go ahead and scroll over. Needed to be on the same paragraph line. Yeah. Has no note of dissent. Her tone was genuine. His brows arched up. Where'd he go? Okay. And she placed her palms over her lips, rubbing softly to ease some unseen wound. I'm gonna go down to the. And really, like, the main thing that I was having issues with is dialogue, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the dialogue. That way, I can see if it's correct. And in truth, I don't really know what's correct, and that's my big issue. I guess I just need to read more books to get an idea of what that is. Okay. Hey, hon. Her tone and drawn. I think I'm gonna say her. Okay. Oh, I guess he's. It's turned to a yacht. Damn it. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh, man. That's terrible. Oh. I don't like that. I don't like allergies. Okay. I'm going to read the context so if I know it's correct. Marie couldn't bear to stare back. Her eyes darted down. The tension was always there, but in this immediate moment, the decision was final, and she fell into the routine of accepting it. With the matter over with, a new idea entered her mind. Maria moved forward with her hands behind her back, taking large steps. No, Wasabi, oh my gosh, he's on the desk. Can you see this? Oh my god. He's right here. I'm going to turn on the lamp. No, Wasabi, I'm working. Okay, lamp off. Okay. With the matter over with, a new idea entered, swinging her hips to evoke a coquettish vibe in her actions. Hey, hon. Her tone and drawn-out way of saying this completed the vibe. Okay, so it works. Yeah. I was wondering if you'd allow me to go downstairs today. She scratched his chin and it has to be a break here because the sentence was already said, and this is a new action, I assume, and this is good. Okay, the hyphen. Now the hyphen. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear. This is a hyphen. Go through and make sure. Okay, now I need to. I think I'm using it right because in this case right here, I'm sorry to hear that. That is Maria apologizing that something bad happened earlier. Well, hold on. Okay, no. She's asking, are you headed downstairs today? Oh no, Mr. Shkreli hasn't approved the departure. I'm sorry to hear that. But she's cut off. Like, no need to be sorry. I tell you, he took a handful of those pills and she interrupts herself and vroom. He's as stirred up as ever. And vroom, I can just delete that. She's right, okay. She definitely called me out on the right thing. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that hyphen. Hitting the alt on accident. That's my bad. Room, because that's the exclamation point. That is the end of the sentence. I don't need a hyphen after that. So she's right to call me out on that. So, and room. There is a fight going on outside. If I get a visual, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. Oh boy, I know I'm such a nosy Nancy. I don't want to get beat up. Oh, there's a fight going on outside. I think I might go outside. It's not my business. It's not my business. It's none of my business. Sounds like a disagreement between a couple. No, it's none of my business. What am I doing? I'm getting distracted. That's my bad. Okay. I'm just a nosy Nancy. I'm sorry. Okay. And vroom, he's as... Is that an extra space? It is. I'm going to delete that. Where am I? Okay, what is happening? Ugh. Okay. They're really getting at it. They're yelling at each other out there. This apartment complex is pretty chill, pretty peaceful. God, I'm gonna blow it up. Oh man. Okay. Oh, where am I? And he's as stirred up as ever. I've been waiting to tend to my garden anyway. Esther motioned to a nearby row of plastic flowers. They grow so beautifully at this time of year. Now, whenever you make conversation, oh God, my nose. Oh God, allergies freaking suck. Oh, they're the worst. Okay. Sorry, I burped. It's in the garden anyway. Now right here, I did it like that because it's the end of a sentence. So I can go ahead and I don't have to do a comma when I hit. Oh, I did. Because it's a continuing, but I didn't get called out on that. So I guess it's okay. They grow beautifully this time of year. That they do. Well, ta-ta. It was nice seeing you, Esther. I don't think I have to specify that it was Maria that said this because she said her name. And same to you, dear. Give your husband my best. With a hug and pecks on the cheek, Maria continued down the hallway, leading Esther to her lively garden. Bit of sarcasm because they're fake. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna scroll down. So hyphens are another thing I need to worry about. Ah, yes. What I wouldn't give for my mixing bowl. He. So anytime I use a pronoun, it's not, and I guess it's part of the sentence, so that's why, because I guess I was using proper names before, so I went ahead and changed that. So, here. Okay. Oh, you. She let out. Okay. I don't have a lot of other notes here. I guess, yeah, I think it was just all dialogue. So, I know we're about like 40 minutes in, and I just now got the configuration. So now that I have an idea as to what's wrong with it, and now I'll go ahead and correct it the best way I can, or as well as I can. So it's only 19 pages, and we got all night. It's about to be 7 o'clock. So I'm just gonna look for all the conversations. Morning, yes, of course. So morning, he grunted. So far, this is the first one. I had to, so hyphens and capitalization. So I don't need to capitalize pronouns, and with hyphens, I need to use them more correctly. So, loud and movie voice. Being in a minute there, and it's Maria, so I don't have to change that. Morning, he grunted. I had to go see it for my number one man because he already said something. This next one is her talking, and we know that. You sure that's all? He asked. I'm gonna go back, change that one. I'm just confused. Well, I had a bit of a tingle in the head earlier. I don't know where it's coming from. I'll set up an appointment. I'm gonna add some action to this. I'm gonna add a little bit more. She rubbed sides of. Is it the sides of her temple or her temple? You know what? It's good. We know it. We know what's going on. A bit of a tingle earlier. I don't know where it's coming from. Yeah, we know who it is. We know who's talking. So it's okay. Set an appointment for her husband said. Her husband. Her husband said, "Came out like a demand." Maria paused, most certainly wanting to protest the decision. Shot back. "I had a good idea, sweetheart." And because it's not continuing to another thing, I can do a break. Because it's not something, because he's not talking, so this could be a new paragraph here. 619. Good morning, Esther. Said her name. Oh, good morning, dearie. I spelled dearie right. Yeah. Quite a day, all this and no chance of rain. The composition of her sentence and her choice in vernacular felt dated, but her youth and vigor was happening today. I don't know what that means. No, I know what it means. Like, she's hot. She looks good, you know? I like it. I'm going to keep it. Downstairs today? Oh no, Mr. Shirley hasn't approved of departure. Maria, because I can see how this could be confusing. So yeah, it's two women talking to each other, and we don't know the husband's name. So I can see how readers can get confused and think Mr. Shirley is Maria's husband's name. So that's why I added this Maria here. So she's asking, "Are you headed downstairs today?" That's Maria asking. Oh no, Mr. Shirley hasn't approved a departure. We know that Esther replied, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." "No need to be sorry." She's not. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just change that to a period. Just be done with it. "I'll tell you, he took a handful of those fields and he's as stirring up as ever. I've been meaning to tend to my garden anyway." It's her motion to a row of plastic flowers. "They grow so beautifully this time of year." "After you. Well, ta-ta. It was nice seeing you, Esther." "Same to you, dear. Give your husband my best." Chick. Change that. There we go. Oh no. I wish I can see it now. Like I understand a lot better. I just don't know how to explain it. I'll give it my best shot anyway. So whenever the statement has been said, and then it goes back into action, that's when I give it a new paragraph, and the action is done. But I leave the action with the sentence, right, or in the same paragraph line, whenever after the action something else is said to follow up. That's why I did that. Oh no. We know it's Maria saying this. She said it out loud because then it describes the next scene. There was a gaggle of women in front of the elevator. They were chatting amongst themselves, mainly about how the technicians were taking too long to repair the broken elevator. They didn't notice Maria arriving. Normally, Maria would chat a woman up, and her inevitable charm would put her at the center of attention. Today was different. Why was it different? You'll find out the more you read it. Well, number one, she stood quietly and observed the women in front of her. I'm going to zoom in, that way you guys can follow along with me. Ooh, two's good. Okay. Maria noticed that all the women wore a color variant of the same short dress she had on. Their pumps were the same design, but they too differed in colors. The women themselves all had Oh man, it's got a long ass video. Okay, let's go ahead and start over. I'm just gonna start over. I'm just gonna read it. Okay, counting down in 3, 2, 1. The waxy end of lipstick sailed across her bottom lip, hand still, wrist still, covering cartilage with exact precision. With a few puckers and lighting around the mirror, she wanted to take a moment to admire herself. To complete the effect, she tousled her hair until it struck the right balance of wild yet refined. She felt an immediate feedback of positivity. Life was idyllic in the high-rise condominiums. Everything fell into routine and everything had its place. An oppressive proposition at first glance, the denizens inside saw their conditions as the ultimate antidote against the edge of unpredictability. For the woman in front of the mirror, her looks were a forever constant, and all she needed to do to keep it is follow the same routine. She told herself deep down, see, this is why you need to read it out loud. This is why you need to do it. This is that she was fortunate. I'm gonna zoom out. I want the whole page, but I also want you to read it. There we go. That'll do. Can you see where I'm at? Okay. She was fortunate for her life to turn out like this. Surely the assurance of waking up in the same place day after day was better than the gamble of living outside their ivory tower. When she didn't tell herself to be grateful, she let her mind wander. She wondered if maybe this kind of life was too insulated, too cushioned. No, she was just overthinking again. The memories of wanting to explore the world felt childish these days. While posing with her body arched in an unnatural way, she posed a thought about those who journeyed outside a place like this. It was a thought that rang loud, and it was hard to quell with gratitude. Those people outside didn't have security, but surely they must have a tangible sense of freedom, true freedom. This is good. Before continuing the thoughts, a violent jolt sparked in her mind. A strange sensation where her head felt as light as air, and numbness began to drown her body. With a few blinks, she stepped back from the mirror and began to examine herself, no longer to admire, but to observe as her fingertips made contact with her skin. She rubbed her cheekbones, pinching a cheek to elicit a reaction. I thought I was just using the same words because cheekbones are way different than cheeks. Well, they're the same things, but she started to breathe heavily and felt like she was about to erupt in flames. Maria! A low and loud voice boomed from the outside. I'll be out in a minute, dear. Maria's tone was crisp and sharp as winter air. Maria's tone was crisp and sharp as winter air. I don't want to use sharp because then that's a more harsh reaction because she's kind of chiming. Maria, I like that a lot better. Chimed. Okay, next page. Stepping into the bedroom, the dark sensations returned and overcame her quick facade. There was a strong sense of guilt that came from subverting her thoughts that were short of gratitude. After patting down her dress, Maria stepped into the living room. White stiletto pumps clacked on the hardwood floors, echoing throughout the empty space. The emptiness was intentional, something about letting energy flow throughout the home was intentional. Something about. Now, is that a hyphen or a colon? Or not a hyphen, a semicolon. Semicolon. Something about letting the energy flow throughout the home. It was in a video she watched once and the idea stuck. The kitchen was filled with silver surfaces and cooking utensils, the kind of rigid gaudiness that rich people loved. Her husband sat alone on the island in the middle of the room. He was a lumpy-looking man, dressed in a messy way that clashed with the sleek and shiny design of the kitchen. "Good morning, dear." Maria beamed a little too brilliantly. An observant eye would catch that something was amiss, but her husband had his eyes glued on the newspaper, his head tilted to acknowledge her. "Morning," he grunted. "I'm sorry I didn't make breakfast today. Had to gussy up for my number one man." His eyes rolled up from the text and he gazed up and down. He folded a newspaper over his arm and paused before speaking. "You sure that's all?" he asked. Maria was initially confused by the question. Surely he couldn't have known about the jolt in the bathroom before sweeping the worry away. She felt a compulsion to blurt out what had happened. "Well, I had a bit of a tingle in the head earlier. I don't know where it's coming from." "I'll set up an appointment for tomorrow," her husband said. It came out like a demand. Maria paused, and most certainly wanting to protest the decision. She took a deep breath and responded, "Good idea, sweetheart." No sarcasm, no note of dissent. Her tone was genuine. Her brows arched up in worry as she placed her palms over her lips, rubbing softly to ease some unseen wound. She looked at her husband, thinking that she may change her answer. Hoping that she would be allowed to change her answer. He looked up with a slight annoyance at the sudden silence. He could feel the rejection of his suggestion. Maria couldn't bear to stare back. Her eyes darted down. The tension was always there, but in this immediate moment, the decision was final, and she fell into the routine of accepting it. With the matter over with, a new idea, and I'm going to do a break right here. I feel like that will do better. Did it work? Yes. Was the matter over with? A new idea entered her mind. Maria moved forward with her hands behind her back, taking large steps and swinging her hips to evoke a coquettish vibe in her actions. "Hey, hon." Her tone and drawn-out way of saying this completed the vibe. "Yeah? I was wondering if you'd allow me to go downstairs today." He scratched his chin with a meaty hand while she looked at him with pleading eyes. He sighed in concession and nodded to give her the go-ahead. Now, a lot of people saying that I like to use big words, but I don't know. I feel like this will. He sighed in concession and nodded because he conceded to her demands. So I don't think it's that big a word, and I think I'll still use it. Outside in the hallway, the walls were egg white with swirling textures to give them depth. The lighting was warm and welcoming to a new resident. To Maria, it gave her a sense of that familiar security. It is now 7 o'clock. It was a comforting temperature, but nothing new. The hallways were spacious, and her steps echoed, giving an ominous feel to this area, especially since she was alone. Her designer bag swung freely on her left arm, and her ponytail bobbed left and right with her movements. She continued down the hall. Okay, here we go. Yes. She continued down the hall, and I missed the word, until she reached Unit 619. Despite the uniformity of the building's aesthetics, there is a square of fake grass on the floor with a white picket fence and gate. Wind spinners were stuck to the ground, but had no wind to spin with. The plastic bristles of the grass felt good to the soul, and Maria couldn't resist as she kicked off her heels and started to step around. The door opened and Maria took a sharp inhale. Despite the rise in adrenaline, she had an expression of happiness as an alluring blonde woman stepped out. Her dress and pumps seemed to be from a bygone era, an era where the future was represented in trapezoids and people prepared 60 years too early for nuclear Armageddon. Does that mean my story takes place in about 10 years ago? I don't know. I haven't done the math yet. Good morning, Esther. Oh, good morning, dearie. Quite a day. All this and no chance of rain. The composition of her sentence and her choices in words. I use words. Now I see it now. Now I see the kind of pretentiousness people were talking. Yeah, I'm going to change that. And choice of words. Felt dated, but her face and figure was happening today. Oh, that line makes a lot more sense now that I read it. The full context. I like it. But yeah, I had to get rid of it. The composite, that's okay. That's fine. And her choice in words felt dated, but her face and figure was happy today. Are you headed downstairs today? It was happening now. That works better. Okay, let me read that back. We're going to quite a day. All this, no chance of rain. The composition of her sentence and her choice in words felt dated, but her face and figure were happening now. I like that better. Are you headed downstairs today? Maria asked. Oh no, Mr. Shkreli hasn't approved his departure. Oh, I got a burp. Esther replied. I'm sorry to hear that. And see, got rid of the hyphen and just added a period there. No need to be sorry. I tell you, he took a handful of those pills and vroom. He's as stirred up as ever. I've been meaning to tend to my garden anyway. Esther motioned to a nearby row of plastic flowers. They grow so beautifully this time of year. She's really hype about this stuff. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see whatever I'm doing. Okay. They grow so beautifully this time of year. That they do. Well, ta-ta. It was nice seeing you, Esther. And same to you, dear. Give your husband my best. With a hug and a couple. Ooh, where'd it go? With a hug and a couple of pecks on the cheek, Maria continued down the hallway, leaving Esther to her lively garden. Oh no, there's a gaggle of women in front of the elevator. They were chatting among themselves, mainly about how the technicians were taking too long to repair the broken elevator. They didn't notice Maria arriving. Normally, Maria would chat a woman up, and her inevitable charm would put her at the center of attention. Today was different. Why was it different? Because she stood quietly and observed the women in front of her. Maria noticed that all of the women wore a color variant of the same short dress she had on. The pumps were the same design, but they had two different colors. The women themselves had different skin tones and hairstyles, but they all had the same body type. Maria took a step back as her eyes darted around the scene. They even held their designer bags the same way. I'm going to turn on my lamp so my eyes don't burn in this dark room. Oh man, it's been a long day. Long day. And this video right now is about an hour long. I'm going to cut it down like crazy, but I don't want to spend too much time doing that. They held their designer bags the same way. She looked to her left arm. I'm going to do a break right here. Okay. She looked to her left arm and found it in the same pose as the rest. No, this is the same idea. Put it back. Her left arm and found it in the same pose as the rest. She let the straps of her bag drop to her wrist and she clutched it with both hands. What does that mean? Let's judge her. Backdrop to rest. I don't need that part. And the eyes have already darted around. We don't need to see that anymore. The toll of the elevator bell rang out to the relief of everyone. Maria blinked while everyone else already used everyone. While they all... Oh, what is up with that? I didn't use italics. Okay. Well, they... Geez, what is up with that? I don't like that. Stop doing that. Enough of that. They all... Politely, every contact of the eyes, they all fit perfectly inside, almost as if the platform was measured to their specific dimensions. 13 pages to go, guys. No, 14. We're on page 5. I'm gonna start at the door closed. Okay, we'll be back in a bit. Hey, Wasabi. Sorry I've been gone for a while. Aww, you're too cute.